That's Senay Kenfe. He's a local artist, community organizer, and business owner. But on Thursday nights, he's sitting at the corner of Long Beach Boulevard and Burnett Street, handing out boxes of organic fruits and vegetables to members of his community.
We give out about 100 to 150 boxes of organic fruits and vegetables provided to us by a visionary, my friend, who's a pretty big contemporary artist. Her name's Lauren Halsey. Me and my dad and my cousin. So we drive up to South Central LA and we pick up the fruits and vegetables, and then we come back to Long Beach and we disperse it amongst the community. When I saw a problem in my community, I stepped up to the plate to respond to it.
That corner is home to Senay. It's where he spent his childhood. It's also an area of the city indicated by the United States Department of Agriculture as a low access food area, also known as a food desert.
The idea of a food desert is a place, either it can be in cities or in rural areas, where there is not readily available access to affordable food, either because there isn't a full-service grocery store or because residents lack access with transportation to get to those places.
In 2011, the USDA developed a mapping system that indicates food deserts based off of two criteria. The area has to qualify as a low-income community, and at least a third of the area's population live more than 1 mile away from a supermarket. This mapping system indicates high concentrations of food desert communities in Central and North Long Beach. Senay grew up in Long Beach's Wrigley area in the 90s.
I grew up in a very highly congested fast food area. There wasn't much grocery store options in the near radius of me, besides the Lucky's on 20th, which is maybe, 8 blocks away from where I grew up. I really grew up with the culture of just like accessibility to the fast food being more prominent than towards more healthier options. Even now, there isn't any healthy options food-wise.
Senay remembers the days where he would zigzag across Long Beach, taking the 61 bus up Atlantic and trekking an additional 20 minutes just to buy meat for his mom.
Well, everybody knows, at least in my neighborhood, if you want to get good food, you gotta go to Bixby Knowles.
But physical accessibility to a grocery store doesn't necessarily paint the whole picture of Long Beach's food desert problem.
Inaccessibility is not just a function of physical distance, like there's no grocery stores within a 1/4 mile radius in this neighborhood. But if you have a car, a 1/4 mile radius isn't very far. So we're really looking then at neighborhoods where the population doesn't have cars or other public transportation infrastructure.
If I want to take a bus to go to the grocery store, okay, that's not necessarily a problem. But if I have to take a bus that's 25, 30 minutes out of my neighborhood one way, then 25, 30 minutes the other way, like you're adding an extra hour of transportation on my lifestyle after I'm assuming an 8 to 10 hour average workday.
But then there's also this question of if there was a full service healthy grocery store that was in that neighborhood. Let's take, for example, if we put a Trader Joe's in that neighborhood, which sells organic food, healthiest food, presumably. Would people be able to buy it? We know that the food sold at Trader Joe's is more expensive. So even if you have the grocery store there, if people can't buy it, the food, if they can't afford it, then it doesn't solve the food desert problem. So economics still plays a role here. I think we like that solution because it seems simple, but I don't think it's actually that simple.
And with a pandemic adding a new layer of nuance to the food desert problem, Senay felt he needed to step up for his community now more than ever.
Previous to that, I was doing a community fridge in front of my store, play nice. And then the health department wrote us up, so we had to take down the community fridge. And that kind of bothered me. And I was like, yo, like we were actually feeding people. what can I do? And so, I linked up with some friends in LA, and I started with half a pallet of fruits and vegetables, and now we do 4 pallets every Thursday. My favorite part is driving up to the drop-off location and seeing people already standing in line. These are people who are part of the informal economy, and they're part of the informal network that makes up this city. I don't post up flyers in the area. I don't do a social media blast to get that awareness. So the fact that people know, and more importantly, people trust me to come at 6 and I'm going to be there, that really humbles me. It makes me like, emotional, because pandemic or not, like, people are in need. Through participating in this, I'm keeping $50 to $100 in someone's pocket in a time of need. And that is just so empowering.